Hey folks, so today I'm coming at you with a quick unboxing. I got this package from Rook and Raven, and it's their campaign diary. So I'm gonna open that up for you and give you a first look. All right, let's do this. I just have my hand covering up our address because, you know, privacy. All right. Oh, cool. So they just included a nice little note, kind of as a thank you for being one of their early supporters, and had a nice little code in there. So, all right, let's open it up. Oh, hey, awesome. So, I like that they had the little sticker in there, just kind of nice packaging. So we open it up, and voila, the campaign diary. All right, I'm gonna get this box out of here. So yeah, one of the things that a couple people I've seen asking kind of what the ring bound notebooks are. So it's kind of similar to a spiral bound, but you have these rings and you can actually pull and rearrange the pages. So they've got kind of some suggestions on here of how to potentially fill out the book, but because they did want to make something that was flexible, there are a couple of different ways that you might fill things in. Okay, and the binding is compatible, so if I wanted to switch out the discs, I could actually do that, because I do notice that like these discs are actually fairly large. So, all right, let's figure out how to get this open. This is just sticky done. All right. All right. So it came kind of nice and closed. And there it is! Woo! So there you can see as I'm pulling this off how the pages stick in and out. Awesome! So I went with the green option that had the color, full color map in the front. Oh, there's actually some bit of texture to the Mischief and Adventure here. But this is a map from Devin Rue. We've mentioned before. So the cover's just kind of a hard cardboard or cardstock. I'm a little disappointed that it's not a little bit more substantial. This is definitely going to bend and move around quite a bit. Okay. So that's what they were talking about. So this first page actually does have, is fairly thick on a nice hard. So that's actually going to hold it together more than the cover. And so the adventure begins. That's cute. All right. Oh, this is nice. So they've got like a Before I Became an Adventurer section here. Spot for, so this is clearly the character sheet, spot for drawing, personality traits, bonds. Oh, awesome. Okay, so it looks like you've got, here's a great space to write out your backstory, your details, but then the things you need more readily during the session are all here. So it's got all of your skills, it's got all of your skills, tools, languages. So these are probably hard to see on camera. They are wet erase so that you can lay them over any part and write on them and wet erase. And okay, this can come out. So yeah, you've got on this page, these two spreads kind of give you everything you need for the character. Sorry if there's a bit of glare from this. But that's great having the wet erase because here I can keep track of my hit points and wipe it away. I'll have to see how well the wet erase does on this. It feels like the type of stuff that wet and dry erase really wipe off well with. That's actually really great, and it's not a very big notebook, so it's not like it's going to take up a whole lot of table space. That was the other thing I wanted to see, how big it really was. Okay, so then you've got equipment and treasure, notes, spell slots page, and this is something that, you know, if you're not playing somebody who has spells, you can pull this out and put it in the back of the book. And then we've got, these are session notes. So you can, they give you lots of space to write things. You can write the date, location, and I suppose you could either write the location of like where you physically were playing the session, so like we were at Dawn and Ryan's or we were at the game store, and then the session number. That's really great. I would probably use location to write in the location your character was in that session, because that will make it a little bit easier to go back and find notes about that location if you need to. So there's a lot of these pages. Okay, a lot of these pages. That's nice. Definitely nice. Still going through these pages. I knew they'd written in that how many pages there were, but I kind of did not realize how much. Okay, and then we just have some blank stuff. So if you need to add some pages to a session, or you want to write some more backstory, or kind of just whatever notes you want to take. And looking at the spacing of these lines, you know, if you have really big handwriting, you might take up 2 lines. I have small handwriting, so I'm very happy that it's a small spaced line. And then these are kind of spots that you can write in a lot of different things. So you could write in spells, special equipment, stuff like that. That's nice. And again, this is something that's easy to pull out and relocate. So if you want it right after your spell sheet, you could have it. I like having somewhat of a template. That's what drew me to this, to fill out, because then it kind of helps keep you a bit more organized as you're going through, instead of just having a blank notebook that you're trying to fill. They've got some just completely blank with the little bit of decorative around it. And I'll have to see how pens and pencils work on this. All right, so then for a closer look, I went and did a kind of pen test. So on the top line is a pencil, then there's a ballpoint pen, and finally a Sharpie style pen. All of them wrote really well on the paper. It's a really smooth paper. I think I actually like the ballpoint pen the best on it. The pencil also felt really nice and smooth. And as far as ghosting goes, no ghosting on the pencil, not a surprise there. Not really any ghosting on the ballpoint pen. I can see the Sharpie pen, and it's started to bleed through a little bit. So I think with the weight of the paper, I would go with pencil or ballpoint pen to write on this. And honestly, most of the time I write with pencil during sessions anyhow, so that if I make a mistake or misspell an NPC's name or something like that, I can go back and erase it when the GM's like, no, their name is Advin, not Advent. True story. A lot of these just blank pages that if you like to doodle or you want to draw maps or anything like that. Okay, there's, oh, I see. So some pages that are lined on one side and actually a grid on the other. So that's really great. I was looking forward to getting this to possibly try it out as a GM notebook. I think I might hold on to this because they just mentioned that they're doing a Kickstarter for a Game Master version of this, of their campaign diary. So I'll probably save this for the next time that I'm playing as a character in a campaign, and possibly check out the Kickstarter to use for myself as the GM. But these grids are great because you can draw out maps, and you could also use them as a player if there's a location that you're going to be going back to quite a lot that you want to know the layout. That gives you a great way to write it all down. Aha, and these looks like in the back is just some extra, so here's an extra character sheet, a couple of extra of those. That's nice. That means that you can, if you have a character die, you can roll up another character, some extra spell sheets. So a couple more of these, and so the adventure begins. So it looks like you've got enough for 4 characters in here. And I do know that they sell these individual pages as well. So if you wanted to get more of a certain kind of page, you could. So speaking of the fact that you can pull things out and move them, I'm going to give that a try now. So, and one thing I do know, if you move stuff a lot, just because you are working with paper, these tabs are going to wear out. So if you can kind of be careful as you move them. So, okay, I just pulled that one out, and let's say I wanted some more place to take notes, or I had a lot more equipment I wanted to write down and have that all together, and just push this back in. All right, and that seems to be holding fairly well. You know, this is not something that you can probably pull out in and out a ton of times. You might also be able to get some kind of something to reinforce some of these if you do have a page that you move quite a lot. I was really excited when I saw this and just had to jump in on the early bird special. As you've probably been able to tell from my bullet journal thing, I like paper, I like notebooks, and this just seemed like a great combination of notebooks and gaming, which I love both. So there you go, that is the Mischief and Misadventure Campaign Diary, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for when their Kickstarter for their GM diary. I will say that for the price, I feel like, other than this cover, everything is really great. The paper feels like it's a pretty good quality, smooth finish that I feel like is going to be really nice to work right on. All of the printing and lines are really great. It's a pretty good price. It's what I'd pay for a lot of other journals, and the fact that this is geared specifically towards campaigns and it's a little bit more niche, I think that actually it's a really good price because of that it's not just a generic notebook. You're getting a little bit, I think, more bang for your buck. Check out the Rook and the Raven. They're the ones who made it. I'll put up the info somewhere around here. Do you have a specific method or format that you like to take notes in? Are you a pen and paper person? Do you like to type things on the computer? Let's chat about it down below. I want to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, especially Sean, Arvi, Eleni, and William. If you're interested in becoming a patron and joining us on our campaign, you can check out patreon.com/rollforinitiative. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!